donation, or it's a $5 donation from for Ryan. So there you go. That was for you.
Thanks, steak.
All right, and we are underway here with, love it, Mudjoe, the immediate titanium longsword. Great find. Good start. Nice solid weapon. You get 1 damage up. You get a 3 damage longsword, which is an end game. So just on the lookout for any kind of damage up, maybe sunglasses or strength charm or any of that kind of stuff. It's a really good start. Nonogram picking up the gold dagger, which you could you can get some quick kills on things. You can't really quick kill bosses with it though for the throw.
Unless you get that scroll.
Unless you get that scroll. That's true. I am yet to actually see that happen. Sorry, sorry, Steak. Yeah, I did rat you out. But he finds a titanium rapier, so he's already got an endgame weapon. So that's pretty nice. And, of course, doing what I always forget to do, I'm waiting for that leprechaun. Nice little kill there.
Mudjoe got his leprechaun too. Making me happy, everybody.
Oh, yeah, everybody picking up the leprechaun. Ooh, and almost taking some damage is Nonogram, having to get caught by that monkey. And they are neck and neck. Of course, not having the exact same boss here this time. This would be a Deep Blues for Mudjoe and a Conga for Nonogram. And yeah, Nonogram actually being one of the surprise Japanese racers. Some of the other racers, Japanese racers, we expected to go a little further. And Nonogram we weren't really sure about. But yeah, Nonogram has been playing super duper strong. And that's just classic Japanese racers right there. I'm not sure if you remember when Mame first came on the scene and just absolutely obliterated everybody. And we were like, who is this?
Yeah, I remember it well. It was crazy impressive.
So crazy. And that's a tough choice there for Nonogram, but opts to stick with the titanium rapier. I think Glass Flail can really get you through the next couple zones super fast, but of course, titanium rapier is something you'd want in Zone 4, so maybe that's why it was kept.
Mudjoe switched to a obsidian whip for a little while there so he could open up a chest, and he got a heart container out of it and then went and switched back. Well played.
Nice call.
Wow,
That's a good game sense.
Nonogram left that bomb. Check that room for the bombs. It wasn't 3, it was only 1.
And
left it behind, took that trap door, and found 6 immediately on the next level. That's amazing.
Like he knew. Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting strategy. There's
would have cost all of 7 beats. Left that bomb behind. Crazy.
Yeah, seriously.
And grabs himself a shield spell in that arena. Nice quick finish.
Just got a question here. I'm sorry I missed it, Rob and Dan show, but yeah, how do I do instant replays? Yeah, I haven't actually done it many in a while, but that's because people haven't been dying. But the way I do it is I have my own stream up, and I'm capping my own stream on OBS with a window capture in the appropriate spot for them. And so basically, when there's a replayable thing, I watch my stream to see when the replayable thing is coming up. Then I click it on. I unhide it on OBS, and then the replay comes up, and it makes it look like I'm doing it all like I just had the replay queued up, but no, I just wait for it. So and you only get to see it once. There's only one shot at it, so that's how I do it. I just started doing that this weekend. I think it's working pretty nicely. People
it's
seem
awesome.
to like it. It's pretty cool.
Mudjoe making good use of this war drum here. He used it to open some crates. He used it to one-shot Coral Riff.
Yeah, it's the damage up that he kind of was needing, like I was saying. Like, if you've got a titanium longsword, that'll do for getting the damage up. So if you see, like, a skeleton, a black skeleton knight coming at you, that's all you need. You can just use one war drum. I remember when war drum first came on the scene and everyone was like, this is the most OP thing I've ever seen. It's pretty strong, but I think it's rare enough that it's not a big issue. But, yeah, it was like, oh my god, and it gives you double damage? Because even just the wasted beat was useful.
For score running or something, but for racing, you can just stand there. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but it's handy for the damage. I think it's even more handy since we added the chests and things like that. Yeah. I mean the crates and barrels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that helps a lot.
Need the damage to open them up.
Yeah, Nonogram still has yet to use that shield spell. Could have tanked it against that blue dragon on a 3-2, chose not to. Waited about probably 10, 16 beats-ish.
Yeah, that's something that we've really seen a big difference between our top racers and the others is hesitance on using spells. I think just use them whenever you're even close to using a spell. Or when you're ever close to a situation where you might need one, just use it. Like, you're gonna recharge it in pretty due time, so And Nonogram clearing out these bat closets, I guess just because they're in the way. Obviously, those take a while to work through. It's a lot of beats. And there's a shield ring being used there. Nonogram does have the lead here, though. Against Mudjoe.
Wow. Pop that shield ring, though.
Yeah, getting hit by
Walked
the
up away from that. No, it was from the gargoyle, actually.
Oh, right, the explosion.
Triggered the
yeah, needed
gargoyle,
to walk
yeah.
away.
And
Yeah, you're right.
I had to walk away to the left, and instead walked up and took that hit.
Good choice to avoid you attacking the Blade Master, though. Didn't need to. The Dove Scoot strats. That's one thing I also really like about the character design. A lot of the different characters is that they teach you aspects of the game. So like Arya is huge to learn how to like be really good with a dagger and to get through zone 1 very quickly because you can sort of just use a dagger and that sort of thing. Bombing that blood whip doesn't want anything to do with it. Also getting bombs out of that. 11 bombs,
yeah.
no big deal.
Plus 2 bombs.
Yep. But like Dove teaches you how to get, do the scoot into the exit stairs, which is really useful for most characters. So that's another big part of it. And then of course bomb kills with Eli, learning how to, planning 2 bombs to kill a red dragon if you have an abundance of bombs, like how to do that sorts of things. So it's cool. I like that each character also is sort of a lesson for Cadence, which Cadence is kind of the conglomerate of everything.
Mm-hmm. And Mudjoe had a chance to pick up a Ring of Might, but he decides to stay with his Ring of Courage with this bow that he's got going on. I guess it's a bit faster.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I
Nonogram
think
didn't
that's a
grab
good
the
choice.
monocle, too.
Yeah, we've seen a couple monocle skips, and I don't know why. Like, monocle's pretty good,
1,600
guys.
gold. That's 140. You can afford
There's
it.
that double bomb I was just talking about with the red dragon. So that's definitely one of the fastest ways to kill that dragon. Just a quick 8 damage. And that was a evil shopkeeper there. Wall pig by, oh my god, Mudjoe, with that dodge of the wall pig. That was really scary. And this is where the courage is really putting in work, as you're seeing. As he is in a bit of a swarm situation. It's kind of sketchy, but he's handling it beautifully. Gets himself the wing boots. Not
Boots
super
and a shield
necessary. He
spell.
already had the boots. Nice use of the shield straight away. And look at this. This is so scary. Oh my god, and he's still alive. I mean, I should be watching Nonogram. Nonogram's ahead here, but that was some excellent play by Mudjoe.
Yeah, Mudjoe's probably going to lose, but that was nuts. Although Nonogram is down to half heart here, he's got the potion still, but a little sketchy.
DavCloud asking why you'd want the monocle on Zone 4. I think there are so many crates everywhere. Think of all the stuff you can find. Or the knowing to avoid crates. I think the crates alone are super useful. And yeah, seeing bombs through the walls. Yeah, I think the monocle is super useful pretty much throughout. Because I know the sort of standard usage is for boss chests, but no, it's pretty useful throughout. All right, so yeah, Nonogram just trying to finish off. Necrodancer has a potion, so it's not as sketchy. But we are seeing. Here's another race where both of our racers are on the Necrodancer fight at the same time. But unfortunately for Mudjoe, too little, too late, and that is an 8:30. That's pretty good.
Pretty
really
zippy.
Fast. Yeah, zippy races. And so Nonogram again impressing, taking the. I mean, I should stop considering Nonogram an underseed. Because Nonogram is really playing super strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome play.
He was forcing Mudjoe, who is one of the faster players for sure, to do crazy stuff. Like he had to jump into that boss room and use his shield and use his frost charm and stuff like that. Like he had
that was
to do
amazing.
that because he was behind. Pulled it off, but he had to do it.
That 4-2 for Steak or Mudjoe Steak. For
Yeah,
Mudjoe
worth
was
mentioning
amazing.
as well. Felix in the chat, Felix Nemes, asking if that Mimic dropped the Risk or Luck Charm. Well, Leprechauns dropped the Luck Charm. The Mimic did indeed drop the Risk Charm, and the interesting thing with that is that if you have Ring of Courage and you attack a Mimic, like a chest, Mimic chest, you're picking up that item. So
That's true. Whatever
better-
it is, so it might.
yeah, whatever it
be
is, you're gonna
pain.
get it.
Although you'd be okay from the pain, right? With the courage, is that
Yeah,
the
I
case?
think it protects you from all damage. Yeah, it should. If you have a bow or something like that, then if you're opening it from far away, if you can get away from it. Usually
Yeah.
it's hard to kind of get away from them, but
Yeah, we've actually we've seen an abundance of pretty hilarious deaths over the time. Can you do you guys know of any that are particular highlights for you with regards to like because there was that one where it was like a bounce trap with the Boots of Pain into a Crown of Thorns, and he only had half a heart. Like it was like Boots of Pain with a bounce trap, and then there was a crate on the other side with a Crown of Thorns in it, and so the jump right into the Crown of Thorns and died, not knowing there was a Crown of Thorns. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that was epic. Yeah, there are. I always said that trying to make the game as fair as possible and stuff like that. But I think there are some situations that can occur super rarely that are not really fair. But it's so rare that it's just
funny. It's good for
hilarious.
us. It's good spectator sport. It's actually kind of reminds me of Dwarf Fortress. I know you're saying you really enjoyed Dwarf Fortress last week. You get those sorts of things that are just unintended events that occur, and I love it. And it's so fun. It's very rewarding when something like just crazy happens. It's like there's no way this was programmed into the game, but it just happens based on the way that the game is designed. It's really cool.
Yep. So Mudjoe's into zone 2 first. Both have blast helms. Mudjoe didn't kill the blood shopkeeper. Again, not rather taking the damage and not getting the blood drum. It's interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, I feel like that's a habit I have too, where I'll just not even consider it, but obviously it's a good play to get that blood drum. It's super useful. Yeah, Will
Nonogram.
reminded me of another super hilarious death with Spooty Biscuits, the moles like guiding him in for a landing there.
Oh yeah, that was epic.
That was so good.
His wingmen moles forcing him into the wall.
Did you see that, Kevin?
Get killed by the Minotaur.
If you
I
haven't
didn't
seen
see it, no.
It's if someone can post that in chat. I know there's been GIFs floated around with that. It is probably the most spectacular way to die in this game. It's so many things had to go right for that to happen.
It had to go wrong.
Or wrong. Well, I think right. I'm gonna go with right on that, but yeah. Alrighty, so we're pretty close here. Mudjoe again with the lead, needing to win this to not let this get too far away. Finding a ring of peace, very nice. And wisely avoiding that bounce trap. Those armadillo bounce traps can really get you, because you tend to get a little myopic sometimes when you forget about bounce traps, and they can really just come out of nowhere and spring and get you. So it was nice of him to sort of notice and move out of the way before it bites him. And yeah, I think he's at this point gaining a little bit on Nonogram. Did you watch it there, Kevin?
I just watched the GIF. That's amazing.
It's the craziest thing, and it just how it all played out. And if you watch it with his commentary, it's pretty funny. Too.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah, there's nothing he could do as soon as he got in that configuration.
Of the miner's cap had a huge role in that whole thing.
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
If he couldn't have run for so long, it wouldn't have been as hilarious. Like if it had just happened quickly.
Yeah, but the way it sets up is also because of the miner's cap. Just the way that he kind of jumped in there, and all of a sudden there's moles next to him. It's like, oh, what the heck?
But it's hilarious that he can see his doom coming. Like he has enough time to realize that he's screwed and the wall is.
Yeah,
coming.
and not enough damage to kill the Minotaur, and just everything about that is just perfect. It's such a great death.
So Nonogram with the lead. He traded out his glass whip, which he got a bit trolled after the first boss, that he had a gold flail and the black chest gave him a glass whip, and he spent a lot of time there deciding which one he was going to keep, and kept the glass whip, but now managed to trade it out for the same weapon as Mudjoe, and he's got the lead by 2 floors.
Yeah, Mudjoe does, yeah. Yeah, and opts to keep the blast helm instead of switching out to the Crown of Thorns. I can see that. I think that it could go either way, because of course he can gain his health back, because he's only at 2 hearts right now, and he can get up to 4, and 4 can be the difference between getting stomped or not. So
if you're behind though, blast helm's faster, especially in a Necrodancer fight. You just go blam blam blam, and
that's absolutely true. Yeah. Oh, and a bad. See, that's that really frustrating. Nice use of the blast helm there. There's a great example of blast helm. But yeah, that was a bad spawn by the Gasp there. Like that's one of those spawns that's just like, oh, come on. Like with all the, there was all the walls behind, and then the blue dragon, and then suddenly a Ghast comes through the walls.
Yeah, it was rough.
That sucks.
There was probably some way he could have moved, but it would have been safe. But it's really hard to come up with that, so fast.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm imagining Mudjoe is going to go back for that Earthquake Scroll. I am sure he's not going to just leave that behind. But he kind of got a bit of mini swarm there. And so, yeah, he's picking that up, and he's on his way. It looks like he's going to take his time here and check this food shop. Fair enough.
Yeah, I got enough of a lead. You might as well.
Yeah, actually not a ton of lead as Nonogram gets onto zone 4-1. They're both on the same floor. Though the bomb situation is a lot better for Mudjoe, and including having that scroll. That's going to mean 2 quick boss fights.
Yep.
And Nonogram getting a bit of an annoying swarm here. Those mummies can be such a pain in the neck.
And yeah, Nonogram doesn't have much much health or armor or anything. Like he could die.
Yep. And a little bit of a swarm here for Mudjoe2, tanking some hits.
Oh, Nonogram down.
Oh no, I missed it.
He was on a goo tile and a harpy got him from the
wow.
side.
Ouch. And we'll see that. That's just as he drops into 4-2. Oh, the harpy coming in, swooping. Ouch.
My commentator cursed him. I had just said that he could die. He didn't have much health, and then he died.
Yeah, that's okay. Everyone gives me a hard time about commentator's curse, but that's not a thing. Come on.
No.
Alrighty. And so, yeah, Mudjoe on 4-3. Wanted to finish this off. I mean, he's got a ton of health. He's got that Crown of Thorns as well, so... I mean, he could even just, I was just about to say, he could just stomp on those spike traps and it's really fine. He's only taking half a heart from it. Although he's in a bit of a sketchy situation here as, okay, nice job to sort of back off because the Ghoulems were starting to sort of surround a little bit and he needed to back away or else he was in a really bad spot as the enemy sort of collapse in on him.
Yeah, he had enough composure there to manage to still get kissed.
Yeah, jumping on the spike traps, why not? Exactly.
Another pixie kiss, back up to full health after that chaos.
That's all it takes. Yeah.
Just thinking about shopping.
Saved me a lot.
He thought about shopping, but there was a lot of enemies down there. He's ahead by a lot, so he could have shopped.
Yeah, he could have,
but he really needs to.
Nah, he seems like he's probably in good shape here. Quake Scroll, the 4 bombs, so he can even do the fastest of fast kills, minus the blast helmet, of course.
Yeah, I don't know what you would find in that shop that would really help you much.
Maybe armor that's a little more consistent. Because the problem with the one thing that people I think forget about the obsidian armor is it's great for that first hit, but then if you're missing beats and you take another hit, it's only leather armor, so it's really not that strong sometimes. If you get whacked twice or get yourself in a bad situation, it can really cost you. So Dorian taking a half heart there. It's kind of fun that the story of these fights is keeping an eye on Dorian. Seeing if he's the one who's going to end the run for them, because that's happened a few times now.
Yeah, I like that there's still some stress. Like, no matter how good your build is, you can die at the end. You probably won't. Like, if you take your time, because if you just kill all the mobs and stuff, you probably should never take damage. If you focus on Dorian, you won't. But
yeah,
good game there. Mudjoe ties it up 1-1.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. So. Put the little loot
kind of appropriate as well that, you know, the cutscene says, I think I know how we can beat him, Cadence. Follow my lead. It's like, no, Dorian, you're so weak.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, I guess it kind of seems like it doesn't make sense, but I intended it for him to be showing her, like, you stand here and I'll stand there, that type of thing, but because they have to stand on those buttons together. But yeah, for the rest of the fight, he's just freaking dead weight.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense too. I mean, it's you know, Dad doesn't know that Cadence has since become a complete badass.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's been a couple years, right?
Yep, and he's the doofus who went in here and got himself caught and turned into Dead Ringer and stuff. So yeah, he thinks he's special, but she's the best.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are 1-1 going into Game 3. That's pretty hype. This is our last game of the day. And then we'll probably ship you guys over to the Balls of Steel as they're doing their last day of tryouts, which is cool. Of course, we want to support the Balls of Steel as much as possible, as Balls of Steel had supported the Necrodancer community in the past, doing a Necrodancer tournament, which was super fun. I was in that. And all around good guys, so yeah. Alrighty, and so Nonogram is getting it. Oh, nope, it looks like Mudjoe has actually found a potion room. We'll see if he's probably going to look for some way to open it that doesn't involve using his bomb. That first bomb is so important. And it sounds like, or it looks like he's waiting for something to open it. Because otherwise he's just dancing back and forth. Maybe he's just enjoying whatever music track he's listening to a lot. But no, it's definitely he was waiting for a dragon, so there it is. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have screen shake on, which I also can't play with for some reason. It just kind of makes me feel ill. But so it was hard to know if the dragon, but he could hear it stomping around. So.
Yep. It's too bad he didn't have max multiplier when he killed that dragon, because that's how you get your leprechaun. He was only at 2 times, so he didn't make a large enough gold pile.
Right. And that also means he's not getting it this floor, probably.
Yeah, well, he's got Ring of Gold now, which Ring of Gold makes it pretty tough to get your leprechaun. You can do it, but you just like stand there.
Yeah, I found out that you actually can get it pretty easily, or reasonably easily, with co-op mode. It's at least more possible, because you can just leave the person with the Ring of Gold standing still. But then I guess he doesn't have the multiplier, so maybe that's not the case. I don't know. I'm not very good with leprechauns. I also don't do score runs very often. Although you'll be happy to hear my first. Oh, that's true. Yeah, and actually very close. A lot of spawns on Mudjoe's side. That's that base dagger. Although I guess Nonogram handled the base dagger pretty good. And so Nonogram picking up the broadsword and is the first on to zone 2. And Mudjoe had to miss a beat, so Mudjoe is going base dagger, and that's really going to harm Mudjoe. I think we're going to see a big difference. Unless Mudjoe can find something real quick, maybe in this boss arena. We might see a big gap by the end of this zone between Nonogram and Mudjoe.
Oh, glass rapier. He needed something.
There it is, yep. Oh, but that Ring of Mana is so strong. It is
tough to leave.
Freaking
tough
good.
to leave behind, but he's got no spells yet anyway, so.
Yeah, that's true. You're banking on a spell, or you're gonna You're gonna run base dagger, hoping to get a spell. Yeah, I think that was the wise choice.
Mudjoe shops and buys everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Shopping spree. Nice. Actually, Mudjoe is getting all kinds of good stuff. So just as I said, how we were gonna see a gap here based on what they found, Mudjoe is getting all kinds of goods, and he even gets better boots. Gets the backpack. Makes Richard Hammer happy there, buying that backpack. Yeah, this build just completely changed around there. That's pretty impressive. And yeah, it looks like, well, he's still a little behind Nonogram, so he hasn't gained on Nonogram at all, but he's certainly gained a pretty dandy build. And bombing for that glass armor, smart, definitely a good call.
It's wind spelled onto the exit.
Always
nice when the wizards help you out.
Yeah, that's why I like Melody so much. Is that wind spell actually gets the mages killed, the wind mages.
Should have gotten Owen to do a wind spell.
Huh? We did, didn't we?
A positive one instead.
Oh yes.
Yeah, positive one. That's awesome.
And he's using his Dora the Explorer boots to rip Coral Riff a new one. Just no problem.
Handles it, and this is
Leprechaun waiting.
Yes. I didn't see Mudjoe left the glass rapier. Didn't see that.
Yeah, he swapped it for the titanium flail, and I think that's a great switch up, especially with the Ring of Might. He's doing 3 damage. It's that critical 3 damage. Although I always say that the 2 damage flail is all you really need, because you can attack behind the shields pretty consistently. So you don't really even need that, because that 3 damage is mostly towards being able to knock the shields away from the Black Skeleton Knights.
And opening up your crates and barrels and stuff. But quick trap door Mudjoe had, and now he's vaulted into the lead.
He's taken the lead. He's leapfrogged. He frog-socked over Nonogram. Nonogram doing a little bit of Shriner shopping. And it looks like doing some decision-making and opts not to go back for any of those shrines. And Mudjoe careful not to bomb himself with this conga fight. Wisely done.
Yeah, you can get stuck up there when you got the flail trying to get around the zombies and the hot dogs and stuff. You can get stuck.
Yeah, and on to Deep Blues is Nonogram. Can't do the quick kill, though. It's going to have to go slow and clean out the chest piece. Mudjoe, not confident with the titanium flail, goes for a weapon and gets a blood whip and opts to leave it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Whip is pretty wonk on Zone 4. As wonk as flail is, whip is super crazy.
Yeah.
And if you can get a courage, courage is great. And I do like that you can knock back those.
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, you can knock back the statues so that you don't have to worry about them. Sunglasses probably doesn't even need it, so yeah, he's just gonna push on. I think that's wise.
Oh, rhythm.
There it is. Yep, taking the rhythm. That's good call. Now he's just got to make sure. Well, he's got the potion.
Oh, pixie.
Bombs the pixie. That hurts. And now he's in a bit of a sketchy situation here. And he's got to be careful because he needs to keep his health high if he's going to be successful with that Shrine of Rhythm. And also, he's going to wind up having to be a little more careful. Oh, what's he doing?
He hit another pixie
stop.
there.
Just stand
still. He just needed to stop moving, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's really scary now. He's low on health.
Oh!
So the Shrine of Risk is, oh yeah.
Potion's
that
gone.
Orange Armadillo, he got wall pigged.
Wall Pig 2, what is happening, Mudjoe? I wonder just if he just hates Shrine of Rhythm and just felt like he needed to take it or something, because this is some weird play here. Gets a bit of a heal there, gets the Pixie Kiss. But
Yeah,
all
it's
of
an
this...
interesting trade-off with the Shrine of Rhythm and the Pixies. I think he was trying not to stop moving, and as a result, hit these Pixies.
Course. I didn't even consider that, but yeah, that's absolutely true. You need to figure out a way to... Oh, that's wild. And that Black Bat on Nonogram's side, completely avoiding trying to hit him as much as possible, like at all costs. It was really funny. They were like spinning around each other. Yeah, and this all of this hesitation and stuff is allowing Nonogram to gain back a little bit. He's about a floor back. Mudjoe's onto his Dead Ringer fight, but things are not safe. Not safe at all, as he's probably going to take some damage on his Necrodancer fight.
Oh, you flailed him up.
Oh no! And that's going to slow things down dramatically. Yeah, that when he was next to him like that, what are you supposed to do? You can just kind of flail him back, or... I mean, if... That's I think a next level strat we haven't seen yet is really using the flail to knock him into the bells. I'd love to see some of that, but that hasn't happened yet. And while he's working on this off the rails Dead Ringer fight, we're seeing Nonogram get to a very nice use of the freeze spell there, but getting gooed a little, and has to be careful. He has 3 hearts, no protection whatsoever. And there's the kill. Just needs that Golem to get off the stairs, and he's on Dead Ringer.
Oh.
That Dead Ringer.
Mudjoe down.
Oh, no. Dead. Let's get that replay there. As what happened? Is it just he wasn't paying attention? I think he didn't see where Dead Ringer was. It was easy to forget. Oh yeah, he was off screen. Wow.
I think he may even have seen. He might have known, but he was flailing. He was flailing the ogre.
Yeah. Well, he was. I think the Dead Ringer was off screen, right?
Yeah.
So then it was like, yeah, Dead Ringer does home in on you, but when you don't see him actively doing it, that's really scary. And you didn't see him charged up and just came out like a bat out of hell and just wham.
But he may even have known, but he might have been trying to move left, but was flailing instead. The only thing he could have done was move right. Like, so even if he had known, he only had one right answer, which was right.
Wow. Yeah, and that happens a lot. Dodging away from enemies is sometimes very important when it comes to Dead Ringer. And sometimes you just can't. Those, like, you can get caught in a crossfire with the ogre and Dead Ringer, where Dead Ringer's like going north-south and the ogre is whacking at you east-west, and then it's just like, well, never mind, we're dead. What do you get hit by? I guess the ogre does a little less damage.
I think the Shrine of Rhythm probably cost him that run. I think just the added mental
strain of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's
because
interesting.
he took a lot of damage and stuff that if he hadn't taken that, he might have been able to survive that Dead Ringer whack because he had a potion and stuff
when
before.
he took it, though, he had so much health. He had a potion, he had full 3 or 4 hearts. Nonogram having a bit of a hard time here with this fight, and he does have a bomb, so he really could have just bombed this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm not sure why he's not using the bombs.
Not a huge issue. Just needs to be careful. Cadence is actually a little bit frail right now, only has that protection charm and 2.5 hearts. So, a little sketchy, getting bombed by... Do you know how much damage the explosion from the Necrodancer does? It's a lot.
No. Can't remember, yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, so gotta watch for that. I think it's 3 full hearts. Something like that. It's up there.
Probably.
I'm sure someone in chat will know. But it's a ton.
I'm sure I made it lots to be mean, because I'm mean.
Yeah, it's all good. As a commentator, I love it. The mean stuff is great for me. I love it. But yeah, as a racer, maybe not so much.
Mudjoe gets double armadilloed there.
I saw that. It was a
cat,
Mudjoe
no good.
sandwich. Yeah, the cat, though. I love the cat with the Minotaurs. You can kind of glide them in. And there we go.
Good game, Nonogram.
Nonogram.
Wow.
What a
Taking the
finish
lead
to
back.
that. Taking the lead back with a painful death for Mudjoe. Also, check out these loots when I put them on. They kind of glow a little. I don't know if you saw that. That was also Grom's doing. Pretty proud of that one. So you'll see when it pops up on Nonogram.
It's nice. Attention to detail by Grom there.
Grom, he's a master.
Just
Actually-
needs to make Cadence not look so horrible, and I'll love him again.
Every time you mention it, I'm putting it up. Oh. Alrighty, let's get game 4 underway here. This is awesome. So good.
Yeah, this is exciting. Man, yeah, Mudjoe seemed to have that in the bag, but I think that rhythm just got to him.
The disgust. The zoom level lowered on the game, on a game capture that only takes up a quarter of the screen. I don't know what you mean by that. So we force the racers to play more zoomed in than most racers like to, and that's an active choice. It's one that we've been faced with a lot of protest from the racers on, and it's always like we have to find a fine balance between what the racers want and what works for displaying it as a race. And yeah, if people are super zoomed out like you see Jack and everybody play at, even DJ with his CoNDOR runs, donation, $1 from Rat. Just gotta see the animation again.
Rat!
Can we put a donation threshold on that animation, please?
Yeah, it's gotta be $10 if you want to see that.
That's hilarious. But yeah, we've certainly gotten some protest about it. But honestly, if we go any further out with the zoom, it just becomes very difficult to see what's happening, and it's just harder to commentate. And one of the things that we've noticed about this game, and I think it's just sort of a byproduct of it, is and we are actually trying to figure out why this is the case. But when it comes to this versus Isaac Racing, it seems like Isaac Racing, there's a lot less going on. And so when you first jump into a CoNDOR and you're seeing the races, there's a lot of colors flashing, and it's all pixel art. So it's very busy. And so we don't want it to be also way big and hard to see what's happening. So another donation. $5 donation from Cadence Charles. Roll that terrifying donate footage again. Thank you so much, Caden Charles. There it is. Yeah, and so with Isaac, and what we kind of came to the conclusion was, because the backgrounds don't move with the character in Isaac, I think that probably makes it a lot easier to watch, just sort of immediately. And it's not until you kind of see what's going on that it becomes a little easier. And so yeah, with the zoom out, I think that would just be it would just make it that much harder it would be that much less accessible for people. So that's sort of why we force it, I guess.
Yeah, for a four-way race especially.
Yeah, if it was zoomed out like with last week, like I was pretty skeptical of the four-way races. I try to avoid them if possible, but it's what we went with for fairness for the racers. That was sort of again with a balance thing. We could have run a lot more 1v1s last weekend, but we went with the straight four-way races, and it was basically to make sure that, you know, everybody has as much of a chance as possible to show their stuff, and it's not like an RNG-based win. But yeah, that was the concern, is like with four-way, it's just going to be that much harder to see what's going on. But I think it worked out. I think it was fine. Mudjoe missing with his throw, which is kind of hilarious.
It's still flawless, still considered flawless.
Still flawless,
both of them
yeah.
Beating their boss at the same time, getting rid of his blast helm. Both of them had blast helm there. We've been seeing a lot of blast helm.
Yeah, there's been an awful lot of blast helm, and yeah, this is actually a pretty interesting race, as we're seeing both jump into Zone 3 at the same time. Man, did Mudjoe zoom through his 3-1 fast, though. He's already on the 3-2. He's got 3 damage with a spear, which is pretty nice. Of course, the 3 damage throw is very useful often. And then Nonogram with the glass rapier plus the strength charm, so he's doing a 5 to 9 on the lunge there, which is pretty insane. So yeah, he can just one-shot the Minotaur there, which is always a nice feeling, because it's rare to be able to just smack him in the face point blank.
If he can get one more damage, he can damage Ted Ringer.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, and
wow,
he does
fast
have the
3-2.
That's the death metal.
Neck and neck again.
Yeah, that's true. He's actually surpassed Mudjoe, who's having a slow 3-2. Man, I feel like Zone 3 really is the difference maker in a lot of these races, because the distance you have to travel varies so much compared to all the other zones. I feel like the distance traveled is it's very consistent with Zone 4, and it's pretty consistent with Zone 2. Zone 1, it can vary a little, but I think the variance in Zone 3 is the most. And you really do have situations where you can have like an instantaneous Zone 3 versus like a wandery, meandering, confusing Zone 3. So
yep,
and
both on the boss
Mudjoe with
at the
the
same time.
scoot strats. There's your Dove scoot strats right there. Yeah, hopping down on the boss. Just ahead is Nonogram, and having that blast helm for the quick quick release of, and look at that, 12 bombs with a blast helm.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're gonna want to start using that because that's one of the strongest ways to attack things. The only thing that's bad about bomb attacking, I suppose, is it's one range. It doesn't have the same range as a lot of other things. I know that there was some discussion in the forums about having different kinds of bombs. Was that something you ever actually considered, or just think about?
I thought about it a lot, but I couldn't think of a way to make it work well. It's just too many. Like, it would have to change all of your bombs to this new bomb type or something like that, right? Like, you can't.
Oh,
you can't
turn it on, turn it off, sort of thing.
Yeah, we just don't have enough keys to let you, have a variety of different types of things. Or you could have like one mega bomb that's an item, just like instead of your food item or something like that. But no, it just didn't seem as useful as it ought to be if it's going to be added. So
I could see that. Yeah, it might just overcomplicate things. Yeah, I think there was like ideas of having the bombs turn into bombs similar to like Bomberman style, where they sort of do like a cross instead, but they reach further. So you can do like that. Of course, increasing the chance of bombing yourself by a lot.
I think. Sorry, I think Nonogram just burnt their frost charm on a spider.
Yeah, that was not a good place to burn, but it did allow Nonogram to get through that little boss room very quickly. So while that's actually the second time we've seen it where the frost charm is kind of burned on a terrible, like no reason to burn it there, but it ends up allowing the racer to. Oh no!
Oh no! Killed by a harpy.
Just like that, another harpy death. My goodness, let's see that on instant replay. And that was just jumping in, and that can happen a lot when you sort of think, oh, it's just a harpy, what's it gonna do, sort of thing, and next thing you know, you're jumping into where the harpy was already adjacent to, and then he's hitting you, and that I think it's not that common, and so because those harpies are so all over the place, that it's rare to be jumping into the place where they just moved to, I guess, if that made any sense, or right next to where they just moved to. So that's certainly.
And I was just about to say, and he has like a blood shovel because he had just picked up a blood shovel before that. He was about to have a pretty fast Necrodancer fight if he wanted it, but then all hell broke loose with those harpies.
And I don't know if you saw that how Mudjoe handled that boss room there, but that was awesome. That was surgical. He went in there and just worked everything and then ran away and didn't take a single hit of damage, even though it looked scary. That was very impressive. So Mudjoe's just got to be careful of the wind spell here. Sometimes you can get kind of trolled with the wind spell, but he handles it just nicely. And he's onto the Necrodancer. And pretty ahead right now, I'd say. So we'll see what happens.
And he does the swaggy spear throw to realign Dorian there. I like it.
But then gets kind of confused. I don't know what's going on. He has more than enough bombs, if I'm not mistaken, so he's going to definitely use those. Did he have the blast helm, or was that Nonogram? That was Nonogram, I think, right?
No, he had it earlier, and then he swapped it for the helm.
Yeah. And that's 1 or 2 defense on that helm. I can't remember. It's moved around.
I think it's just 1. I thought about making it 2. I don't remember if I did or not.
Double Minotaur all the way. What does
it mean?
Yeah, I love when you get the double mini bosses on Necrodancer. It's rare, but it's interesting when it happens. And double Red Dragon is terrifying.
Well, if you take too long on Argus fight, you get the blue and the red. That's the worst, I think.
Oh,
the
really?
blue one freezes you and the red one smokes you.
Oh my god, that's insane. But yeah, that double red, sometimes you like move one way and then it charges and then you jump out of the way and then the other one's charging at you and then there are lasers flying everywhere. It's scary.
Yep, I love it. Oh, good game, Mudjoe. Ties it up.
Yeah, nicely done, Mudjoe. And just in time is another donation, a $1 donation from Mick Bashty. It has been 5 minutes. I need to see that cadence again. Choo choo. Thank you, Mick Bash, for that. And look at this, guys. Last race of the day, and we are going down to a game 5.
I love it. I don't love the donations, but I love the race. You guys are killing me.
Amazing. Blame Grom. 100% blame Grom.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I do.
That's good. Very good. Who recorded the Praise Ham quote? I'm not sure who was in the room, but it was with the voice of Cadence, Elspeth. Elspeth? Is that right?
Yep, Elspeth.
Yeah. Yeah. The actual voice of Cadence did it, but I don't know who. Kevin, was it you or was it Ryan or who was there?
It was Ryan's call, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
we were
yeah,
both
Kevin
there.
and I were in the call for all the voiceover stuff.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, I guess you don't have to be in the same place. For some reason, I just assumed you have to be in like the same.
No,
room.
Elspeth is in Indianapolis, actually.
Oh, okay.
We did do some recording here in Vancouver at Gord's studio. Gord's guy who works with
Yeah,
Power
yeah.
Up.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we
Aria.
recorded
Gord, of
Eli
course,
here.
The
and,
Canadianness of names.
Aria.
Yes, Gord.
Gord is a
Super
very
Gord.
Canadian name. Awesome. Sorry, you did Eli and Aria there?
Eli and Aria, and is that all? And like everything I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
That makes sense. You didn't fly out of country to do your recordings.
yeah.
Just decided to
You
do it
didn't-
in-house.
You didn't do Dove in person, did you?
Oh wait, yeah, Kalusha, yeah.
That's right. That's like your neighbor or something, right? Or somebody you just know.
No, she is a streamer on Twitch, actually. I met her
really?
on Twitch. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Kalusha. She streamed a lot of Darkest Dungeon, and she hangs out in our dev streams a lot, so we hired her.
Nice. That's
and she is awesome. Yeah, she did a killer job. It's
Oh,
great.
so good. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the recent love on Reddit for Dove's Good Morning, but there was
Yeah,
a
I saw.
somewhat terrifying.
Very
use of that.
terrifying. Well, no, everybody loves Dove. Like they loved her arts before just because she's so cute, and now the voice is so cute
It's
too.
perfect,
It's just it's amazing. Turned out so good.
Definitely turned out good. I do hold though that my favorite voice in the whole game, and I know it's not you, Kevin, so I'm just fluffing your pillows. It was Eli. Is so good. Like the what the when he comes out of the thing is like my favorite thing.
What
ever.
the?
Yeah, people comment that a lot, like new streamers who haven't played the game before. If you unlock Eli after Zone 1, and lots of them comment on his hilarious voice.
Oh, he's got a great voice and falling down the
Yeah.
trap.
Mudjoe leaving behind a blood broadsword to keep his dagger, I guess, for throw strats.
But no bombs. You kind of need bombs with throw strats. It's kind of they go hand in hand here. There's no real other
Yeah.
way to go about doing it.
Yeah,
And he'd
he's
be
taking
getting full health at this fight. Interesting. And giving Nonogram a huge lead here with the 5 damage. Oh, sorry, got rid of the sunglasses. Had the 5 damage glass spear, but is now 4 damage with the health though, so that's pretty nice. The heal ups got the Hargraves there, which is defense up, and that ring of regen too. So pretty solid build for Nonogram. Probably looking to get rid of that spear at some point, but you can of course kill lots of mini bosses with that, or I mean full-on bosses with the throw strats.
Mudjoe with the glass cat, so it's both sketchy kind of glass build, but I think the build goes to Nonogram at the moment, and he's got the lead as well.
On all of those rings, what rings do you keep? Why does Cadence only have 1 finger? And another donation coming in, $4 from Charles Dents.
I think it's
not-
a tongue ring, actually.
I'm not getting enough.
Look at the tongue on this donation guy. This is long and upsetting.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Charles Dents. I'm not getting enough screen time, is what Charles Dents said. So, there you
We
go.
have nightmares tonight, thanks you guys.
Look
So
at the game, you're
Nonogram,
hurting Ryan.
Nonogram gets himself a holster, which is what you want when you got the freaking glass spear. Let's see if you can find another weapon.
Yeah,
There's
get a
black
weapon.
chest over to
Check
the right.
in the shop. Yeah.
Black
Gonna
chest.
look in there. Boots. Still
Boots
good.
are good.
Definitely better than the Hargraves. No offense, Cody. But yeah.
Yeah,
definitely
last race he was trying to make some boots on the Conjurer, and he got boots of pain, and then couldn't afford to do another one. I assume he
yeah.
was trying to get some Zone 4 boots.
That's
but-
what happens. It's boots of pain, and then it's ballet shoes.
Yeah. Well,
And
he gets
here you're
lead
getting
boots
the
instead of a
lead
weapon.
versus the Dora the Explorer boots. And actually, Mudjoe switching out the glass cat for a titanium spear. Pretty good call. Now, it's a bit of a debuff, though, on the damage department, and I think that's an issue. Getting saved by that chest on Mudjoe's side, or else was going to get a clap. That's kind of fun. Oh,
What are your
little,
thoughts
little
on the-
hesitation on that ice. I just wanted to point out with the lead boots. Sorry, what were you going to say, Kevin?
I'll say, what are your thoughts on the lead boots versus Explorer boots with the glass at that point?
Yeah, I think I don't know. There's a few extra uses for lead boots. like if you get a rifle, or I guess there's not any more wind mages, but yeah, I can see the benefit of lead boots. I prefer the explorer boots with the hot coals thing. I think that's really nice. But when it comes to like zone 4, I think lead boots are just slightly more value.
Well, if you haven't faced Coral Rift yet, you want explorer boots.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Praise him!
another donation, a $1 donation from McBashty saying, "Let's go ham." You're
I'm
making
gonna
Ryan
stop
mad.
watching ELAD streams so I don't have to see this.
Yeah, it's so
Nonogram
gross.
onto his boss.
Yeah, we got double lead boots. A real sketchy situation there, but had to use up. What was that? Oh, shield spell. Another donation.
Praise him!
A $1
Nice.
donation from Psychass saying, "Have a good sleep, Ryan." Googly cadence never sleeps.
Uh,
Oh, got trolled in the bomb
yeah,
there.
bombing Nonogram, bombing himself. Ouch. And yeah, Nonogram is behind here, not by much. This is a pretty close race, as we've seen pretty much all weekend. The races have been very close, with the late deaths usually being the difference. I'd say a bit
Nonogram.
stronger of a build on Nonogram.
yeah, definitely. And I think he could have thrown his spear. He could have thrown his holstered spear. Oh no, I was thinking of Coral Rift. No, that was Mudjoe. Never mind. He's still got his holstered spear for later,
Yep.
which maybe for a mommy.
Yeah, it becomes a lot less useful in Zone 4 because
I'd
you
chuck
don't
it
have
at a
the
mommy.
bosses. Yep, chuck it at a mummy. We've seen that before. That's definitely worth. There's a. Is that worth a bomb? Oh, I would use the Golem to open that. I mean, it's gonna take a little bit of time, but I think
He
it's
is,
worth.
yeah.
Yeah,
Did
and
it.
he definitely did it. That's a good call.
Look at that spider. Come up
This is
behind there.
this is sketchy. This is
Look
really
out.
Oh, nice
The
timing with
timing on
that
the
movement.
spider.
The scoots. The scoots, though. That was awesome. And there's the mummy right there. Oh, and uses the giganticism scroll, and I think that's a good call. And here's the mummy. Not throwing, but fair enough. Still doing a ton of damage, so that's all good.
That was well
Mudjoe
handled.
about
Yeah,
to drop
that's
down
good.
to 4-2, and with Nonogram dropping down to 4-2 at the same time. So hype. So hype. So the
Yeah.
potion over on Nonogram's side, of course, is going to be a big difference. That potion makes you so much safer feeling. And speaking of which, Mudjoe finding a potion at the exact time I was saying that.
Yeah, it lets you go a bit more YOLO for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and the lead boots, I'll also say, the trap rooms, you can just move through them. And so that means less enemies aggroed, because you can use the trap rooms as a bridge instead of going through where enemies are, so...
Yep.
Oh, I
Good in
love
Zone
that
4.
kill by Mudjoe there. I love when you just face tank a dragon. It's like, oh, what's this dragon? And that was weird. Where was the sarcophagus? Oh, and that Shrine of Rhythm for Mudjoe. He is, wow, that was fast. And he is already on his dead ringer with a very quick turnaround there.
The sarcophagus can get blown up by, can get bashed by the dragons when the dragons are trying to get at you. Same with the nightmare. When it's
Right.
trying to get towards the player, it can damage enemies and kill sarcophagi.
Yeah, and I think that is what we saw there. A nice use of the shield just to be case. Nicely done. And Nonogram still trying to get through Zone 3. That was a huge find there by that Shrine of Rhythm, as long as it doesn't
Yep.
troll. But with a lot of health, should be okay.
Impressive that he took it after the trouble he had with the China Rhythm the first time.
Oh
He's
yeah,
doing
he
it
got
here.
trolled hard, and so we'll see what happens here. It's gonna be not the fastest. There's no real super fast kill here, I don't think. I'm thinking about it. Doesn't seem like it, and actually got off the rails. So now he's just gonna have to whack the bells. And yeah, that's gonna be a little slow. Meanwhile, Mudjoe,
But he's got
actually,
bombs.
he's got the bombs. Yeah, so he might be able to catch right up if he can get a quicker kill here. This is a little bit off the rails though, so not really working out for him, and he's got to be careful, really careful. Here it is. He's got it. Nice. And so you know what? I might give
neck
this
and
to
neck.
Nonogram.
This is
This
getting
is
close.
neck and neck
Wow.
with the double bombs. Yeah, because Mudjoe's just got to open this up now. He doesn't have a single bomb though, so he has to actually. Yeah, as long as Nonogram doesn't accidentally double bomb these mummies, and I've seen that before. I've done it myself, where you accidentally
Yep.
use both bombs. And look at this. Getting to this phase at almost the exact same point. This is crazy, guys. This is game 5. And the winner of this moves on. The loser is eliminated. 1 damage to each. It looks like Mudjoe has the slight lead here with 2 damage. But it's super close. A nice teleport there for Nonogram. And this is really close.
Oh my goodness.
Some huge
Could come
damage there.
down
It's
to
2-2.
stream delay.
And I think this is looking Nonogram. Nonogram's got the closer. One more hit. That ogre though.
Oh, bad ogre
that
spawn.
Ogre spawn, and Nonogram takes it. I think Nonogram's got this. Holy crap.
Oh my god.
And that's a
Wow.
937 to a 942. A 5-second difference. And that was spawns. It was all spawns. And if Nonogram didn't charge through that ogre, that would have probably gone to Mudjoe. What a way to finish the day as Nonogram takes it. I'm just going to double check with the refs. According to Will, it was Nonogram by about 1.5 seconds. So, of course, we have stream delay, but they mention it in the chat, or they say .done in the chat. Wow. What can I say? That is so freaking awesome. So freaking awesome. And so Nonogram wins. And Mudjoe, the surprise elimination of Mudjoe. That's crazy. And so with that, before we bring the racers in and sort of finish up the cast, I'll just give you guys a quick recap on where we're at. So 3 racers have been eliminated. Ray of Raikou, Kakafume, and Mudjoe, surprisingly, have been eliminated. And that leaves Rat Racing and Jacka Games in the winners final. Pants and Steak have to face off in the losers round 2. And then the winner of that will be playing against Nonogram in the losers final. Or sorry, not the losers final. I guess it's the losers semi. The winner of that plays the loser of Rat versus Jack. I realize I'm just saying things that are probably not making sense, so I'm gonna post the bracket so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But basically, what we're at is 3 racers have been eliminated. Rat, Jack, Pants, Steak, and Nonogram are all still in it. After one more person is eliminated, everyone else is in the money. So that's pretty cool too. So we'll see how that works tomorrow. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. So if you are incoming another donation. There's a $5 donation from Ludi saying, well played.